Hey, here we are. It's happy St. Patrick's Day. I've got my green on, repping Boston, all that good stuff. And today we have another installment of the Women Leaders Moving Forward Together series. I'm excited to have a guest all the way from Australia. So as I am waiting for her to come on, I will just remind you that I am a Be Real, where we build belief, belonging, and confidence in all athletes. And I pulled together this um, series to connect with some of the wonderful women I know. And voila, today we are joined by Tania, all the way from Australia. Yay!
Hi, Dina.
Hi. I'm so glad we were able to make the time
I
difference
know.
work. There's always a way. There's always a way. So, oh, well, thanks so much for taking some of your time to join our chat and talk about women leaders moving forward together. Before we dive into the content of the month, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how we found each other?
Yeah, great. Do you know what? I actually did we find each other in Instagram or on a web?
Through,
Oh, no, so,
Definitely through the hit play not
yeah,
pause. I don't know if it was in that group or
yeah,
through the podcast. Definitely that was the connection.
somewhere over the internet.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm Tania Dalton. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm midlife women's health coach. I've been a registered personal trainer for over 30 years. I've just actually recently trained as a meditation teacher, a 2-year course doing that, which is, yeah, just another, I never thought I'd call myself a meditation teacher because it's something that I kind of used to think was a bit kind of wooey, I suppose. But I've so much seen the benefits over my menopause transition. And I'm also a menopause workplace trainer.
Excellent. Yeah, I tell you, as we get older, we do different things. And yeah, I've said to him, I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I say, look, I'm 52. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Like you just don't know. And I think that's a great message to kind of kick off this conversation. When we think about what the theme is for the month was women leaders moving forward. Educating and inspiring generations. And so, like we're moving forward, we're educating ourselves, hopefully inspiring others. And there's just so many wonderful things that can mean. When you hear that theme, Tania, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I think it means, especially in the context of what I do, so I work with midlife menopause women, is that, educating women about menopause and the changes that happen in midlife and as we age, it's so important and something that hasn't really been done in the past. But by doing that, we can really empower women to kind of live this next part of their life in an amazing way. And I think, before it was kind of seen as a bit of a downward spiral. Now I see it as this opportunity to, think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. So, I've kind of feel like I'm reinventing myself in this, as a 56-year-old postmenopausal woman. And by doing that, we not only, empower the women that going through this stage of life, but also we're setting things up so much better for our daughters and our granddaughters and the women coming behind us. So, because I work in menopause workplace training, I see how, I think it's the stats are that 1 in 10 women kind of leave the workforce during this time of life because of their menopause issues. Yeah. And 25% think about it. So, we shouldn't be leaving the workforce now. This is when we step into our power and we can actually, use all those years of experience to, to make a difference. So yeah, just changing that narrative is so important.
Well, and I love how you said that we're talking about it, right? And the fact that we're sitting here having a conversation, I mean, for you and I, where we work with women in throughout the menopause transition, we're very comfortable with that. But there was a time where you wouldn't even say the word, you wouldn't even discuss it, and now we're talking about periods and menstrual cycles, and we can see these things and learn about these things on, on different social media platforms, and I'm sending, hormonal questionnaires to my athletes and things like that, and we really are, I like I said, we're setting it up to get even better for the future generations. And hopefully the older women are looking at and say, oh, okay, this is great. This is a step forward. So that's what we're trying to keep moving forward and make it better for each generation that comes after us. Yeah.
Totally.
Awesome. So who is an inspiring woman or women in your life? Where do you find your female inspiration?
Yeah, so there's kind of people, well-known people, but do you know where I get most of my inspiration? It's from people like my clients or women that I speak to, and some of them are just amazing. Like I've got a couple of examples. One of my clients, she's in her late 60s. She's had a really high, powerful career. She had an accident and now is in chronic pain. So really struggles to get through the day. But she is someone that surprises me all the time. Like she'll step up, and she's doing this program at the moment. So we're in Australia, the program's in the US. And so she has to get up and do it all night, like at midnight, and do it all night. And I kind of I thought there's no way she's going to do that. No, she has done it. Even though she's, she really struggles to get through the day sometimes. She is just determined and resilient, and just showing, me that, again, I was really surprised, but inspired that she's got that mental resilience and stuff, that she can do that. Another lady that comes to mind is a woman who, started doing triathlons. She was in her 50s. She's in a larger body. Her triathlon coach told her not to attempt a half Ironman. Well, she just, no, can you believe it? I can't believe that someone would do that. Anyway, she did it. So she turned up the day.
That's
people
awesome.
were going, well, what are you doing here? She goes, oh, not much, and did it. And just showing herself and other people that, we're so much more capable than what we can imagine, and that what other people can imagine, and to not ever allow other people or ourselves as well. I find myself going, oh, I can't do that. I even said once, I've got some posts on Instagram actually, which I did a half Ironman triathlon, and in the post I said I've got an osteoarthritic toe joint. I said I could never do a full Ironman, and my toe joint would be able to cope. I've done it.
That's right.
I was telling myself I couldn't do it, and I did it. So I feel like it's just those ordinary, not just everyday people that are just showing themselves and others that they're so much more capable, regardless of age and regardless of talent and all of those things.
I draw a lot of my inspiration from everyday people as well. I mean, with Team Be Real, our slogan is ordinary people, extraordinary athletes, right? Because it's those ordinary people, maybe those unassuming, we're working harder, we're going up against, more odds. There's, all of the elite athletes, everybody has challenges in their lives. So I'm not going to say that they have no odds to go up against, but, we don't have the talent that they have, and maybe we don't have the resources that they have, and we're still showing up and doing all those things. And there's nobody telling us, oh yeah, you can do it, until you find someone who does, which is great. I love the comment about the half Ironman, when you said, oh, I could never do a full, because that was me. I was like, oh, I'm never doing that. I'm never doing that. I'm never doing that. And there's a woman named Carrie. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her last name, but Barnett, I think, is her last name. Sorry, Carrie. She has a podcast called the I Could Never Do That podcast. And I spoke on that podcast when I was doing my cold water swim for event up in Vermont in a frozen lake. And that's when I learned, I said, well, I need to stop saying I can't do that or I won't do that. And I've tweaked it to say it's not on my radar, right? Because you never know, like, what you may do someday. There are very few things that I categorically am just like, no, still, like jumping out of an airplane is one that I really do not see myself ever attempting. So that one is like, yeah, no, that that one I'm keeping with never, but for pretty much everything else, I try to say, well, it's not on my radar,
Yeah.
because I've done a lot of, like I never expected I was going to do a full Ironman, and I did. So,
Yeah.
and and ironically, my husband's a very fit guy. He does CrossFit, and I've got my Ironman sticker on my car, and sometimes people not expect. They assume that my husband is the Ironman athlete. He's like, I would never do. He's like, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. It's like it's just those ideas that people have, and it's just so sad that that athlete that you came into contact with had to experience that. But I am cheering her on and so proud of her that she got out there despite those conversations and went for it, because that is women inspiring, period. Absolutely
Yeah.
love it. Love it,
And
love it.
do you know what you said about, like kind of everyday people as well? I've spoken to a lot of decent, kind of high level athletes, and they go, if I had to go out for as long as you went out, there's no way I would do it. It's so much harder. Like, we've got to be out there for like, hours. They're home in bed by the time I'm
Yeah.
finished my home.
I
It actually takes a lot more mental toughness to be out there for that long.
Yeah.
So I think, we kind of underestimate the impact that can make. Yeah.
100%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there've been several pro triathletes who have made that comment as well. They're like, they're finishing an Ironman in, 8-ish hours, sometimes less. And, I'm like, it took me 15 and change. And they're like, I could never do that for 15 hours. It's like, they're probably also thinking to go at the intensity that they're putting out for those 15 hours. It's certainly a different lens, but I do
Yeah.
agree that it's the extended
It's how it
mental
is as
toughness.
well.
The
Yeah.
extent, yeah, like you said, the extended mental toughness, like
Yeah.
15 hours to be kind of going all in, focusing,
Yeah.
whatever level you're at, that extended toughness is huge. It is huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think the pain level's the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, their high intensity pain levels are probably the same as my pain level. You know what I mean?
That's actually a good point. I never thought of it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't disagree. Cannot disagree with that. I'm gonna keep that one in mind.
Yeah.
So obviously, since you deal and work with a lot of women in midlife, being a woman is pretty important to your job. But how do you think being a woman, kind of sets you up in a unique position to serve maybe not just the people you serve, but make an impact and just build this whole um, business that you are creating?
Yeah. I think, well, I look at some men doing this kind of work in my space, and it's really good, and I really admire them. But until you've been through something, you just don't get it. Like, it's kind of like the pregnancy thing. Like, I never got, I was like, no idea. Like, I used to think, oh, everyone's got time, until I had 2 kids and I hadn't even had a shower, for 5 days or something. And or I had a newborn that did not sleep for, like, I don't know, 10 years. She seriously did not sleep for 10 years. So I kind of think that we really, like, I feel like I know the science, but I have that lived experience. And my menopause transition, I feel really good now, but bloody hell, it was like it was a very messy in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And and I, acknowledge everyone's going to be different. Some people's experience is not going to be anything like mine, but I get it. I get how that it's like, what happened to me? Like, where did my body go? What's going on? Why can't I think properly? All of those kind of things. What happened to this person that could get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and that now can't sleep and can't get up? And I think you kind of have to sometimes go through things to actually really get it. And aging as well. Like, I feel like the difference between me at 50 to 40 is huge. Like, there's I can't compare the me at 50 or what I've been through or what I understand now from what I was when I was 40. So even just looking at people who work with people who are over 40, I go, I don't care about 40 because it's so different than over 50.
That's great. Yeah, that it is true that living through something does give you a different kind of experience. There's only so much you can learn through a book, for sure. So yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, my goal with these conversations was to keep them pretty short, 10 to 15 minutes. We're doing pretty good here. So we've got a minute left. And in that minute, I invite you to kind of leave some imparting wisdom. If you had, you do have a minute-ish to teach us one thing that we can kind of take along with us. What would that be? What are you sending us off with?
Yeah, I've got this little thing that I call the MVA, which is the minimum viable action. And I try to do this for myself every day and encourage my clients to do it. So, think about, we're all busy and we're all got these crazy lives, but what's the one minimum viable action we can take to move towards our health goals? And that might be as simple as, for me, maybe even if it's like a walk down to the end of the block and back, I'm still doing it, every day. Or I'm rushing around at lunchtime. I can't think about something for lunch. I always have pre-packaged, pre-cut salad mixes in the thing. I just whack one in a bowl and then I've got a healthy lunch. So I make it so easy that it's almost impossible to fail. And I think that a lot of women kind of, we get on this idea that we've got to do everything right and it's got to be perfect. And we kind of set ourselves up for failure. And, when we take it back and just make it super simple, like what's the one tiny little thing we can do to keep moving forward? It kind of helps set us up more for success and helps us go, okay, I've got that one thing done. And it gives us a tick, and that helps us move forward.
I love that. And the MVA, like it's really, those three words are so powerful. It's minimum, you don't have to stop there. Viable, that it's going to be reasonable, something that you can do. And of course, action is always important. That's always going to keep us moving forward. So that's great. Minimum viable action. Excellent. I'm gonna hold on to that one and make sure I know
it's an
for
easy
me.
one to remember.
Say it again.
It's an easy one to. I have to do it myself. I go, okay,
Yeah.
busy day. What's my MVA? What's my MVA today?
Well, and I also like how you mentioned one for movement and one for nutrition. And I definitely have one. I have a movement one. I walk a mile every day, but I don't have. I'm going to have to think about there. I'm giving myself some homework to think about my MVA of nutrition, and that's something that is a bigger topic for me and a story for another day. But I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that away as my takeaway to think about what my MVA for nutrition could be, and just something.
Yeah, I also have kind of a mindfulness one as well. It's like,
Oh.
I have this 1 minute guided meditation that I just love. It's just this one, and as soon as I listen to it, it's literally 1 minute. As soon as I listen to it, I feel my body start to calm. As soon as I hear that man's voice, it's on the Insight timer, I just go, okay, I'm calm. Like, it's 1 minute.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have a link for that you can send me?
Yeah,
That you can share? Yeah. Well, just maybe you can like post. I don't know if there's a way to tag or post it or something. Somehow we'll put it on our stories or something. And so
I need to create them for myself, because I think I'm a meditation teacher. But yeah, just that. What's that one thing? Actually, like I hear that voice and I go, okay, I'm calm now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. And you've got more of your day to go. We're closing shop over here on the East Coast in the U.S. But I really appreciate you taking your time. Please tell everybody how they can find you. Do you have anything exciting coming up that we can watch for?
No, I've just got my one-on-one coaching, which people can have a look at. I'm actually off on a trip to New Zealand next week with my mum for a few weeks. So if anyone wants to, I'll be sharing on my Instagram stories if anyone wants to follow along and see what I'm up to. It's not going to be quite my, usually we go hiking and stuff with my family, but it'll be a little bit less intense than that, but still amazing, beautiful scenery in New Zealand. So yeah.
Well, I'll be watching for that for sure. I'll be hiking vicariously with you.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thanks again for.
Thanks.
Yeah, and we'll leave everybody with be well, be real, and keep moving forward.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.